I remember 係啦，我去到醫院，我堂哥喺地下接我，咁跟住我上到去，my mom was unconscious，咁跟住佢已經唔同晒啦，個樣腫晒成個頭 ，I was scared。咁 I was so scared，and then 我唔知點樣做。咁I have another cousin. She's a Christian, so she prayed with me to my mom. Pray for my mom, and she sang with me. So it was only 3 days. So my mom's gone. I remember when the doctor said， 即係我爹哋同我講話，喂，我老豆，我叫佢老豆，我唔係叫佢爹哋。我老豆同我講佢話，媽咪唔得啦，你快啲嚟醫院，因為我翻咗屋企休息啊嘛。I didn't sleep much through 即係嗰3日。咁我爹哋就話，唔得啦，媽咪你快啲嚟醫院啦咁我就即刻搭的士同我 cousin 嚟咗陪我，咁我就去到醫院。我記得我當時我爸爸搭住我膊頭，大家都冇講嘢。There is only one question in my mind， 我點算啊？之後即係我淨係諗到呢樣嘢，我之後點算？如果媽咪真係走咗，咁咁跟住佢走咗啦，咁跟住嗰個 my first roll of toilet paper story happened，因為我媽咪咧係好錫我嘅，其實佢照顧晒屋企，照顧得好好，我完全係唔知道原來廁所嘅廁紙係要換嘅咯，即係你聽落係好 ridiculous，but it's so true that 我16歲係第一次知道個廁所個廁紙係會用完嘅。即係呢個係即係點樣講啊？呢個係 how helpless I was，即係我係幾 unprepared for this，即係 this incident。咁所以計我爸爸離開咗我屋企最大嘅打擊，呢一次就係我第二最大嘅打擊。咁樣。
You were 16.
I was 16, and I'm grateful that God had given us the best time together before my mom left.
And the fried rice.
It was
really special.
Sorry.
And the fried rice, you said.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I think that was really touching. Like.
Yes, that was something simple, but it represents the love from a mother. Yeah.
Okay.
I would never thought that I would still cry because I have told this story 1,000 times to friends. 即係我覺得神真係 you know, through death, I have learned a lot about life and God. And it's not that 神唔珍惜一個人嘅生命，但係神會知道呢個人幾時生存，幾時死，係對呢個人同埋對身邊嘅人最好咯。即係我覺得神嘅 goodness is so amazing that you wouldn't be giving him praise because of all the good things happen in your life. 但係你 will also give thanks to him with all the bad things happen in your life. That's how amazing his love is. Yeah.
介唔介意講講？After 你媽咪過咗身之後咧，你爹哋係咪翻嚟香港同你一齊住啊？或者你我
我哋係有一齊，即係佢有翻嚟住，我哥哥冇翻嚟住，但係我哥哥就 of course 佢照顧我啦，照顧我唔係話煮飯俾我食啦，financially he supported me。咁我爸爸就其實我都16歲啦，即係好快我就 pick up 到我自己可以照顧我自己。咁我爸爸就翻咗印尼，一段時間之後佢翻嚟，我諗佢都面對唔到the hurt and the pain。So但係我都冇，因為我已經變咗 teenager， 佢亦都同佢冇以前咁 close 啦。咁佢就翻咗印尼，後來無奈佢又翻嚟，咁就係又係佢臨死之前，我諗1-2年啦 ，I don't remember。咁佢就翻咗嚟住，咁我哋個 relationship not as good，其實幾差添嘅，我記得，因為已經唔知道大家點樣再去愛大家。咁因為我亦都開始差唔多係成年人啊嘛，咁過咗5年之後，其實嗰5年我都發生咗好多嘢，咁但係我21歲嗰年，我爸爸都走咗，即係心臟病。我諗佢媽媽走咗之後，佢都唔係幾開心。咁係咯，咁21歲嗰陣時佢就，我記得佢嗰晚 I saw him took his last breath。咁因為心臟病 heart attack 之後，佢就即係好似呼咗最後一啖氣。咁當時我由好驚變到突然間成個 atmosphere 好似停咗落嚟咁樣。even 都嗰啲 paramedic 未到，我已經知佢應該係走咗。咁我就唔識 CPR 啦 ，I wish I did。咁我就冇嘢好做。當時個腦空白一片，我就坐喺佢間房度行咗出廳，坐咗喺個 sofa 嘅手個 armrest 嗰度。我仲記得我同神講 ，I asked God， okay, first my mother, then something happened to my brother, almost got him killed, and then my father. Am I be the next？ 即係我記得我嗰陣時個腦就係問咗呢啲，即係你諗下我幾嬲神啊！去到嗰一刻，我應該係好嬲神咁樣咯。
你21歲，你已經係好嬲神。咁你點樣？咁你同神嘅關係後尾係點樣㗎？因為當你發生咁多唔好嘅嘢喺你嘅生命裏面，點解你仲會相信有神嘅？
係啊，真係好奇怪啊，我都解釋唔到。如果唔係神捉住我都解釋唔到。因為即係我記得我係有一段時間我好想逃避神，夠啦，我話夠啦，真係。And 我諗我好細個已經有 depression，而嗰陣時冇人知咩叫 depression，人哋只會覺得你成日唔想起身，好懶啊你咁樣。我都以為我自己就係一個天生懶到咁嘅人，咁但係唔係咯，我好細個開始 depressed 噶啦。咁同埋我都係 suicidal 嚟嘅，即係我成日有個 thought 就係 you just go kill yourself。點解要喺呢個世界都唔知你自己做緊乜，你死啦不如。成日都有個
好細嘅時已經有 suicide，
好細已經有。我係好嬲神，但係我諗 at the bottom of my heart I knew that he is always here。even though 我真係感受唔到佢，而喺我眼前所發生嘅嘢都 show nothing about his goodness。within 嗰10幾年，係咪？即係我又入咗間好 mean 嘅學校啊，我阿媽又唔錫我啊，我老豆又俾我阿媽趕走啊，跟住我又入咗間 gangs 嘅，即係咁多 gangster 嘅學校，又學壞晒啊！有咩好啫？其實我生命有咩好啫？咁呢個神 you're all powerful but you have nothing to do with me. That's the problem。咁我諗，但係因為我好 chicken 嘅，咁我就好怕死嘅，咁我就好想上天堂。所以
呢邊嘥你都相信神係真嘅。
Yeah, he's so real。我點
解你會覺得 real
啊？所以
你唔知啊？
我真係唔知，我真係只可以話係神捉住我㗎咋。我都唔知點解我會信佢咁黑仔。成世我連我啲 cousin 話你唔好叫 你唔好叫阿凡，你叫小黑啦，你小邪又唔係小黑，即係邪 in a way， 即係好
黑仔，
即係好黑仔，好唔 lucky 咁係啊，咁所以I think my feeling for God is always the fear of him， 即係好敬畏佢，但係我又唔係敬喎，即係 I didn't respect him。I think 如果我 respect 佢，我唔會做一啲佢唔中意嘅嘢啦。But I fear of him a lot，即係我黐住佢，因為我驚死咯。簡單啲講，我成日都話，我如果呢一刻我背叛你，我行出街俾個花盆揼死我，仲會唔會上到天堂咧？我好驚有地獄啦，因為我有曾經諗過，唔去到一個世界嘅地方係冇神，我唔使再俾你咁樣即係對我。雖然你話你 all powerful， 但係你真係 you have nothing to do with me， 我睇唔到你嘅 goodness， 但係我又要驚你。咁早期我同神之間嘅關係就係咁。即係 of course 我之後明白啦，即係 once 你嗰個 faith is real when you accepted Jesus Christ there's nothing else can snap you away from God，即係神嘅愛其實係好大。
即係你係嗰個 the one sheep that walked away and who just kept chasing after you
kept chasing and still chasing me， 係啊，still chasing。
Was there a time where you okay this was real, like I am following you, I'm surrendering to you and I'm not turning back anymore？ 你冇一個 specific time where 你真係返去神嘅身邊咧？
我係爸爸過咗身之後我先 got baptized 嘅。咁 baptized 呢樣嘢咧，我係所有好多朋友都洗咗禮，我都冇洗，因為我真係覺得唔 deserve 啦，覺得自己。但係直至到我爸爸過咗身，
介唔介意講 What do you mean you don't deserve to get baptized?
I knew that there are a lot of things. I'm still very rebellious, and I knew that I did not want to follow Christ. I have no interest of being a good person. So why would I want to follow Christ?
Okay.
So 我根本唔，即係我根本覺得耶穌就係傻啦，即係有乜理由俾人蝦唔打人㗎？打你左邊俾埋右邊，唔好玩啦！我要做 bad， 即係我嗰陣時我要做個好 bad girl 嘛 ，right？ 好，咁我就，但係真係好多謝我入咗，我後來我媽咪過咗身，我入咗另外一間好好嘅學校，係我啲 relatives 幫我揾人事搞入去嘅。咁入到去咧，啲老師都好唔中意我，因為睇我有10個耳窿染晒金毛，睇你都唔。
我啲相我可以 share 俾大家睇，
燒晒啦。Just kidding。我阿哥以前成日 make fun of 我，好心你燒咗你啲相啦，幾樣衰啊！好乜嘢㗎？咁即係一睇就知你唔係乖人。咁嗰啲乖學校點會中意你呢啲人？I'm really thankful， 即係 God kept chasing after me。我嘅 嗰個 economy 嘅老師係一個好 devoted 嘅 Christian。佢喺佢老師嘅屋企咧，佢係有一個 Bible study group， 佢 invite 咗我去。咁我心又係耶穌，即係我當時我已經覺得哇，即係我走唔甩㗎啦，其實嚇咁樣咯。
有啲討厭，係咪煩喎？覺得
有啲煩，但係我somehow我就知道耶穌為我好嘅，即係佢係真係好似即係哇！你翻嚟，你快啲翻嚟！即係我覺得佢好俾力去要我翻去。咁我生是但啦，咁啊翻啦，咁啊食下嘢啫，都係去啊，咁啊翻一次唔翻3次，翻一次唔翻3次，咁我都翻咗8年啦，我諗個 Bible study group。
Wow.
That's where my Bible study foundation was formed， 即係一個我好 thin 嘅 but 好 solid 嘅 Bible foundation。因為好 thin 嘅原因咧，係因為我翻一次唔翻3次啊嘛。咁我成日都 no show， 但係咧我喺裏邊真係學咗好多神嘅話語。咁所以之後即係我覺得我開始喺嗰個位，我開始認識上帝。
即係 like looking back 睇你 你同佢哋經歷嘅嘢都可能係好相似。你有咩嘢你想同佢講？
先講咗我對一啲覺得自己好 broken 或者好唔開心嘅人，因為我真係知道太多。就算你表面上好多人嗰種嘅快樂，或者佢得到幾多，或者佢失去幾多，我識好多人表面冇嘢，但係佢哋一係 suffering from panic attack 啊、anxiety problem 啊、depression 啊 ，you name it。我只係想講，其實每一個人都係 broken。Seriously。唔好 look down on your brokenness，cause 唔好睇唔起你自己嘅傷痛，又或者唔好將佢收埋to a point。你唔需要去公開住 ，but at least 你要俾時間。如果你唔係一個基督徒，你未係一個基督徒，你都要俾時間去處理。如果你係一個基督徒，你要俾神去同你去處理。Seek for professional help whenever you need it， 因為絕對唔好去收埋，因為呢一啲嘅我哋嘅過去或者嗰啲 hurts 或者嗰啲嘅 pain， 可能有啲人聽咗我故事覺得哇你嘅細個好慘，又可能有啲人聽咗我故事覺得喂，你 compare to 我根本 nothing 啦你啲嘢。但係我哋唔好 compare 大家嘅 brokenness。每一個人，上帝 God knows everything about us， 佢亦都知道我哋可以承受到幾多先會俾我哋。So let that brokenness to be used so that you can be healed。 你希望喺你嗰個 brokenness 嘅中文係乜嘢？你嗰個傷痛，你嗰個brokenness 嘅中文係咩？死啦！你嗰個嘅破碎 ，yes。唔好俾你嘅破碎去影響你嚟緊要行嘅路，因為其實你嘅人生係可以好精彩。It's true。嗰個只不過係你嘅過去，佢唔應該 define 你嘅將來。而且只有上帝先至可以 100% 去醫治你所有嘅過去，因為我哋嘅故事係佢去寫嘅。So 個故事未完 ，so hang in there。Seek for help and embrace your brokenness， 去擁抱你自己嘅破碎。當你越能夠同自己相處，越能夠接受自己，你先至可以真真正正知道咩係愛。因為就算神俾你嘅愛咧，如果你唔愛自己咧，佢個愛係唔能夠 100% come through 嘅，因為你係 reject 緊佢嘅愛啊。So你 reject 緊自己嘅意思係我唔要呢一個我唔要呢一個上帝做嘅我。當你 reject 自己嘅時候，上帝嘅愛係 come through 唔到。It's up to us。So 我好希望你可以揀，如果你係生命裏邊有好多傷痛， look for a person that you trust, you can trust 100%, you feel safe to share about your story。可能佢都會有一個 story 話俾你聽。當我哋可以 open up 我哋嘅 brokenness， 我哋就可以接受個 healing， 個 healing 就會嚟到，個醫治就會嚟到。
Yeah, so true。
冇佢，我係冇可能做翻一個正常人啦。雖然其實我內裏仲有好多嘢係好 broken，but如果你要用一個 term 去形容我可以做翻一個合理 decent 嘅人係唔容易，因為即係一個 broken 嘅人要變翻一個 decent， 可以做翻一個合理嘅人，係其實已經係一個神蹟咯。咁所以係咯。
頭先你講得好，就係我哋每個人嘅 story 都未完啦。同埋我有時覺得，雖然我自己都好怕 pain， 好怕 suffering， 但我覺得你睇一套戲，或者你聽一個故事，一個最精彩嘅故事咧，係一個你係會見到一個好 powerless become very powerful。呢個係一個好 inspirational、好 empowering 嘅 story。And 我覺得 in a way that 我哋個個人咧都可以有呢個 story 咯。And 你係一個 greatest example， 即係你連譬如你細個 from 一個好 broken 嘅 family， 一個 teenage years。雖然你覺得 I mean 你都試過他玩戒自己 ，but 到你而家，我諗冇人會係見到你個 imagine 唔到你以前會係經歷咗呢啲咁嘅experiences 咯，同埋而你係變到好 wise 啦，好 strong 啦，好 loving 啦，可以 gentle 啲嘅，但係其實你哋係一個好 compassionate 一個人，所以你話我要做最衰最壞嘅人，其實我真係幻想唔到，因為我平時以前我同Nikki 做嘢，我喊嘅時候咧，佢又會同我一齊喊。我哋 our hearts break for the same thing, right? And so 我覺得而家見到你咁樣咧，我覺得係一個好好嘅 hope 俾大家。
你又搞喊我啦！你真係好煩啊！你唔好喊啊！
係咯，神都係透過我哋每一個普通嘅人，right? 去
very 普通，
係啊，一個普通嘅人去 share 我哋個 story of Jesus。好啦，我哋多謝大家收睇。
Hope to see you guys soon.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.